Well, we're covering the situation in Gaza Strip, especially the Israeli airstrikes on Khan Yunis recently. To shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have with us over the phone our dear guest, His Excellency Ambassador Medhat Meleegy, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Good evening, Your Excellency.
Good evening to you.
Well, Your Excellency, recently on Saturday, a large number of casualties and deaths have occurred as the Israeli occupation forces have led air strikes in Khan Yunis. How did you follow, which is a clear violation of law and a war crime? How did you follow this?
Well, unfortunately, I mean, the same way I followed the last massacre and the one before, and the one before, and the one before. Unfortunately, Israel is continuing to violate all international laws and all international humanitarian laws and continue to defy the orders of the International Court of Justice and all peace-loving countries and everything that we have always called for. Israel, on the tongue of the Prime Minister, will continue its assault on the Palestinians until it achieves the goals that's always revealed, which is the total destruction of Hamas and also the liberation, the forced liberation of the hostages. However, what I want to clarify here is something very important that we have noticed, is that Israel do not mind at all killing hundreds, even thousands of Palestinians in order to get one activist of Hamas. And this was the reason behind the massacre, according to Israeli sources. The real reason behind the Mawasi massacre was to get Mohammed Addis, which is one top official of Hamas, who is actually requested by the International Criminal Court, along with Prime Minister Netanyahu and his Minister of Defense. So he is a wanted person from the international justice system, but Israel, as I said, do not mind killing hundreds of Palestinians in order to achieve its goal by killing one of the top leaders of Hamas.
Yes, yes. Actually, Your Excellency, Ambassador Meleegy, Egypt have condemned with the strongest terms the Israeli brutal airstrikes on Al-Mawasi near the Khan Yunis city that resulted in dozens of deaths and also the injuries of civilians, most of them women and children. Egypt is exerting all efforts concerning a step for ceasefire in the talks and as a mediator. Where did the talks reach until now between Egypt, Qatar as mediators, and every time we hear there are negotiations and there's nothing that happens on the ground?
Well, actually, this is exactly what you mentioned right now, that as long as Israel do not accept to reach any kind of agreement, then we will never reach an agreement. The United States has said it on several occasions that it cannot pressure Israel to accept something it doesn't want to accept. And on the other hand, even though with the acceptance of Hamas to the terms and the conditions revealed by President Biden, until today we haven't seen anything being achieved for the simple reason Israel's sole goal is to keep on wasting time until it continues its massacres and the total destruction and elimination of Hamas and all its leaders. This is the real goal of Israel, and this is the one that it's working for. And even with the condemnation of Egypt, which is not the first and will not be the last, nothing is going to happen as long as the United States keeps supporting it, keeps sending arms, and not just the United States. I have seen several reports recently that none of the European countries, except maybe one or two, have stopped its shipment of arms to Israel, which means in another way that they are supporting the genocide that Israel is taking out on the Palestinians. This is the reality that we have to face and start working based on this. Israel is continuing its massacre simply because nobody is stopping it. And how do we stop it? By stop sending arms. And this does not happen so far.
Yes, I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information. Your Excellency, Ambassador Medhat Meleegy, former Assistant Foreign Minister, thank you very much for joining us over the phone. Ladies and gentlemen, a short break and I'm going to be back with you.